Hey everybody, Shawn Tubbs here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are checking out the Morgan Amps Dual 20. It's a 20 watt dual channel amplifier that's going to give us the best of both worlds in our favorite British EL84 powered amplifiers. You're going to get a top boost channel with the awesome interactive controls, bass and treble, as well as a normal channel, but within that normal channel you can choose between what would be considered a bright input or a normal input via these switches, and we'll get into that in the demo. You get a global high cut, as well as the Morgan power scaling, which will allow you to take the amp from 20 watts all the way down to 4 watts. Now there's another really cool feature on this amp. It allows you to choose between two different preamp tubes. You can pick a 12AX7 or an EF86, and we'll get into how that sounds. The switch is on the back of the amplifier. So there's just a lot of tonal options that you can choose with this amplifier. Another thing to keep in mind, the way I'm going to demo this is I'm just going to switch between the two inputs by unplugging the cable and plugging it into the other channel. But if you have an AB box or even an ABY box, it's going to work really great with this because you can switch between the two channels or even combine the two channels for tons of just tonal soundscaping. For this demo, I'm just going to stick to one channel at a time. So the channel you're hearing right now is the top boost channel, and you're hearing the 12AX7 preamp tube. So it's that really sweet jangly tone. Get it a little bit cleaner if we want. So the first thing I want to show you in this channel is how interactive the EQ is. I'm going to start by just sweeping the treble, and you're going to hear, obviously, the treble is going to go up and down, but you're going to hear differences in the low-mid presence on the amplifier as well. So check it out. I'll just play something low and I'll sweep the treb. So there's quite a bit of sweep there. As you move that, you really hear the low mids and lows change as well as the top end on the amplifier. Now I'll do the same thing with the bass control. So see, I got that set really the way I like it. I like where the bass is sitting, but it's a little too bright. But if I back the treble off, it's going to add a low mid presence that I don't want there. Then I can just start employing the high cut and tame that top end without messing up the character I just created with my interactive controls. Now, this really comes in handy as you start turning up the gain, especially the bass control. So as we turn up the gain, that sounds good, but it's getting a little woofy, and I know if I start turning the bass down, I'm going to hear a little more upper mid presence and a little bit less bass. If I need to tame the top end, I'll use the high cut. So you can hear there's a ton of tones just in that channel right there, just with a Telecaster back position pickup. So that is the top boost channel. Let me go ahead and switch. I'm going to switch down to the normal channel. just by moving the input. And let's see how that sounds. So right now, I've got it set. If you look at these controls, you've got different settings. Now on this top one, with the switch in the up position, that's going to be the brightest. If I want to tame that top end a little bit, I can throw that switch. Now it's a more of a normal input as opposed to a bright input. Especially as we start cranking gain. Now say I'm not getting enough low end, well then we can use this switch on the bottom. In the up position, it's less bass. In the down position, it's more bass. Now that sounds killer. If I want to tame a little bit of top end, then I can go back over to this high cut. Now let me switch to the EF86 tube so you can hear that. So there's so much tonal variation there. Now obviously we're getting loud. Now that's where the power scaling can come into play. Can turn down quite a bit, still have the amp feel and sound great. So man, this amplifier is so versatile. I love the simplicity of the controls on it, and once again, these are some of my favorite British circuits. Morgan has definitely nailed it with this amplifier. If you've got any further questions, please go to the website and check it out. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.